President Biden is supporting his Vice President Kamala Harris, as we've mentioned, to be the Democratic candidate for president. That's a big endorsement, but our Terrell Bailey spoke with a political science professor at Eastern Michigan who says this doesn't necessarily mean that Harris will be getting the nomination at the upcoming convention.
Any number of Democrats could choose at that point to say, it's an open convention, I'm going to throw my name in and see what happens. That would, if it did lead to a wild convention, it would probably not be the look the Democrats are looking for right now.
And President Biden choosing to step away from his campaign could have huge implications on the political landscape here in Michigan. Our Elle Myers is in Lansing for us tonight. Elle, we know you've been talking with a couple of our local elected leaders. What are they saying about this big change?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We're looking at, a lot of questions right now. There's a lot that we don't know. From what will happen at the Democratic National Convention to how campaign funds might shake out this late in the game. I talked with Michigan Democratic Congressman Sri Thanadar earlier today for his reaction to this historic news. Let's take a look.
It was a shock to me, surprise to me that he decided to step down. I do support his decision.
Dar went on to praise President Biden's work while in office, saying he's very grateful for his leadership and the country should be too. Next, I talked with Democratic Congresswoman Haley Stevens, who tells me she didn't push for Biden to step down, but is excited to campaign for Kamala Harris. Take a look.
I've been very proud to support this president. I was supporting him up until the very end of his campaign for reelection. And now I support him in endorsing Kamala Harris to be our presidential nominee on the Democratic ticket. She has a strong record. She has been leading alongside this president, and we need to continue to do what's right and make history. And so we'll be rolling up our sleeves. Every campaign is a lot of work. This one absolutely is going to be as well, and we're ready to get it done.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer took to X earlier today to say her goal is the same no matter who is heading the top of the ticket. She praised Biden's work as president and said in part, quote, "My job in this election will remain the same, doing everything I can to elect Democrats and stop Donald Trump, a convicted felon whose agenda for raising families' costs, banning abortion nationwide, and abusing the power of the White House to settle his own scores is completely wrong for Michigan," end quote. Now, there are still a lot of questions floating around, especially for the Democratic Party. But one thing we know for sure, this is going to be an interesting race to the White House, Terrence.
It will indeed. We have once again found ourselves in uncharted waters. Elle, thank you.